Hi, my name is Gerhard Schwartner, and welcome to Selling Power TV. Today, we have the great pleasure of meeting with Pak Mukherjee. He is VP of Product Marketing and Strategy at Mindtickle. Welcome, Parth.
Thank you. Thanks, Gerhard. Thanks for having me.
How does your company address the twin challenges that we see right now? One is the shift from sales enablement to revenue enablement. And the second thing is, how do you create a sales organization that is more productive with generative AI?
Those are two very good questions and also very wide-ranging questions. So I think one of the main issues that we see in a revenue organization, and some of the problems we see that are that sales ops, for example, builds out an amazing stack for the company. But in some cases, the end result of that, and we saw this in a recent survey that we ran, is that the rep is now having to deal with more than 10 tools to get their job done on a day-to-day basis. On the other side, sales management that's trying to help out reps tends to focus very much on the here and the now, but very few of them are actually coaching the reps on their long-term skills. And then on the enablement and marketing side, this is an industry we're very familiar with. The stakeholders or the recipients of enablement found that only less than a third of the programs that were being sent in their direction was really, really useful or met their expectations. And the end result of all of this is these people who are there to support sellers are getting in the way, and all of these is causing sellers to be spending less time selling, spending more time doing other things, which is not great. So how companies are addressing this revenue productivity challenge today is that they treat the CRM as their single source of truth. But the fact is that the CRM only contains data that you add to it. So the quality of the insights you can get are very much dependent on the quality of inputs you put into it. And then we have different kinds of systems we use in a revenue organization. We use revenue intelligence, we use forecasting tools, we use content management systems, we use learning management systems. Day to day, there are many different interfaces that we've built in our stack. There's like sales engagement tools. All of these are multiple interfaces that sellers, their managers, frontline leadership, all of them need to be logging into. So you're firstly peppering people with many interfaces. And then all of these technologies are loosely connected with each other through some APIs. The stack is pretty costly. It costs anywhere between $500 to $1,000 per rep per month, depending on how many technologies you have in the stack.
So they spend actually more money per sales rep on technology than they spend on training.
Absolutely. Yeah, for sure. Like training content and things like that.
Yeah.
And so what is the end goal of revenue productivity? One, I think, so there's two key parts to productivity. One is you use a revenue enablement stack to maximize the potential of your team. You upskill them. You ensure that they know the right day-to-day behaviors. And then you have an ops stack where they actually go and deliver on those behaviors. They act on those behaviors, and they are expected to predictably then hit revenue because they now know the right things. They have the right skills, and now we've empowered them with the right contacts and deals, so let them execute. So what Mindtickle does is it brings these two stacks together. We firmly believe that in a few years from now, there will not be any independent enablement stacks and ops stacks. It'll all become one big productivity stack. And our vision is that this stack needs to revolve around a unified seller profile. So the CRM still represents the single source of truth about your deals, but a revenue productivity platform will actually be the single source of truth about your team, about your revenue organization.
Right.
And then you combine that with your CRM and your deal information, and now you have a much more predictable outcome for a CRO and a sales leadership team, which is...
And then you can close the productivity gaps.
Absolutely, 100%. This week, we also announced our acquisition of EnableUs, which is one of the leaders in the digital sales room space. We believe that that gives us access to a lot of buyer enablement data. So we already had access to seller enablement data as well as conversation intelligence and deal data with our solutions. But now with digital sales rooms becoming a part of the Mindtickle company and stack, we now also have access to how the buyers are engaging in the buying decision. What is the kind of buying plan that they are building? What are the content pieces from the company that they are aligning with? Who from the decision committee is engaged, who is not? All of these signals will again absolutely help a sales team be more productive and hit their forecast in a predictable manner.
I'm eager to learn how you deploy AI within MindTickle.
One of the things that is a key differentiator for MindTickle is we have AI-powered role plays. We call them missions. When you assign a role play to a rep and they submit a role play, you are able to then assign AI to assess how good the role play was. Makes the job of the manager much easier, because now AI is able to deliver deeper insights into the quality of the submission,
right,
compared to what it was able to do before. But now generative AI will be able to go much deeper and identify very clear problems in terms of, hey, there were a lot of open-ended statements versus there were a lot of specific customer stories that were told. Generative AI will just help us make this a much stronger differentiator for us. So we're very excited about our AI-powered role plays and what they will do in the future. Was that AI assigned to the role play can also get factored into what we call, and that's another one of our differentiators, is readiness index. It gives you an overall score of the reps' knowledge, skills, and behaviors. And so the role plays are a very effective way of identifying how the rep will actually behave in a client situation. So those scores also go into determining your readiness index as a sales rep.
Awesome.
The other place that we invested in AI was our ops stack for our Call AI solution. And we obviously have AI and machine learning built into that, speech to text, pattern recognition, sentiment detection. We had all of that. But more recently, we also started doing identification of key moments where AI automatically detects, based on the conversation, what the top 5-10 moments of interest in a conversation are. So you can just hover over the recording and it pops up showing you the key moments. So if the prospect says, hey, my manager wants to understand pricing, can you send me all information on your packages? That is a key moment.
So you can not only capture the content, but also you capture the buying signals, and you have a better comprehension of the structure of the sales call.
It allows manager to review the call much faster. A lot of our customers are actually moving away from other conversation intelligence solutions and adapting this because it is very closely tied to our coaching and enablement solutions also.
Yeah.
So that's a key differentiator, because now you know that this rep, when I reviewed this call, did not do a good job of getting past competitor X.
Right.
You're able to immediately assign them a role play, and then AI also assesses the role play and scores the rep's readiness index.
MindTickle is looking at the heart of the sales enablement and the revenue generation function. And you add more features like that, you have a more comprehensive solution where you need less technology, not more technology.
Exactly. And it's a lot more cohesive than if you bought different technologies and tried to connect them with APIs.
Right.
You wouldn't be able to achieve the same thing. And your team would just waste time moving from one interface to the other, from a revenue intelligence to then doing their forecast, then going into the CRM,
right,
then, getting into the LMS to do something. It's just not effective. I think these two sides of the business have the same goal, revenue productivity.
Yeah.
They want each rep to produce more dollars per quarter, per month. That's the eventual goal of both enablement and ops. And that's why they both need to exist on the same platform.